7-year-old boy hospitalized after alleged bullying incident at school. More after this. Hello everyone and welcome back to AG's Point of View, where I give you my analysis on the most popular topics in the world today. In today's video, we have a 7-year-old boy who was hospitalized because he was hung by a 4th grader. Before I dive into the details of the video, if you're new here, welcome. Welcome to AG's Point of View. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well to bring more awesome, loving, and wonderful people over. Similar to yourself. I'm my normal subscribers. Thanks for coming back. I'm diving in. A 7-year-old boy was hospitalized after his parents said he was hung in a school bathroom by a 4th grade bully at C. Paul Barnhart Elementary School in Waldorf, Maryland. The parents reported their son suffered a neck contusion and other injuries and are seeking answers from the school regarding the incident. Now, the parents are calling for changes in school policy, including separate bathroom access for different grade levels and increased monitoring to prevent future incidents. Now, I'm going to dive a little deeper into this. Excuse me, y'all. My sciences is killing me. So, the kid was 7 years old. He was bullied by a 4th grader, which is probably like, 9, 10 years old, right? Now, unfortunately, it says, the parent says, if you look at my son, he has marks under his eyes. He still has bruises on his neck from being choked. The boy's parents said he's traumatized. It's going to take time. This is not something he's going to just get over overnight. Now, paperwork from the hospital lists one of the boy's injuries as neck contusion, which is caused by blunt trauma to the neck. We'll get to that in a little bit in the video. Now, obviously, Charles County Public School was aware of this. This video, it's a current situation, but this actually happened back on November the 18th. Well, at least it was reported on November the 18th. So it was around that range of last year. So it's not current, but it's still going on. Now, the school put out a statement and basically says, 2 of our students were reportedly horse playing in a school bathroom when one student's jacket got caught on a stall door hook. The student was not able to free themselves, and the other student involved was also not able to help them. The student left the bathroom to seek help from staff and reported the incident to the administrators. All right, so this story goes on and on and on. There's 2 things that I know about this story because I actually did a little digging in deep. I dug a little deeper into the story. First and foremost, the young guy, we'll just say the 2nd grader. We don't have any names here because obviously we want to protect the names and the likeness of the child, being as though they're so young. But the young guy, the 2nd grader, he went to the bathroom. A 4th grader came in, approached him. He started bullying him, pushing him around. And then after that, the unthinkable happens. Somehow, some way, this kid tied something around this little kid's in the 2nd grader's neck, okay? And it was no adults around. 2 kids were in the bathroom. He went to go hang the little boy from the stall. The little boy was being hung in the stall by the 4th grader. And then he had the audacity to say, this is what your people got when this is what we used to do to your people. Or something to that effect. So I'm like, okay, in case you haven't figured it out, the 2nd grader was a black kid, the 4th grader was a white kid, right? Now, I'm not really all about, the black-white thing and the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? But in this particular case, this kind of like I'm not really feeling this, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, whether you with it or you not with it, this could be your son, this could be your nephew, this could be your grandson, you know what I'm saying? This could be your little brother, you know what I'm saying? Hell, you know what I'm saying? You could be your older brother, you know what I'm saying? You could have a brother, you know, a little younger than you know what I'm saying? So this situation is not good at all. Secondly, he was being bullied, okay? How come no one was there to help bully, you know, while he was being bullied? You know what I'm saying? Kids are very, 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 very mean. When kids want to be mean and when kids want to be nasty, they go to the extremes, okay? I was bullied when I was in first grade, and, you know, a lot of things happened. And I thank God that, you know, I had a friend of mine that knew the bullies, that actually kind of like subsided that whole situation, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I've gotten bullied, you know what I'm saying? Now, over the years, obviously, I've gotten bigger, I've gotten stronger. So, you know, something like that won't happen. But, you know, and I learned how to fight and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's crazy because just to think, a little boy having to go through what some would deem like an Emmett Till situation. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Emmett Till. I did a story, I kind of used that kind of analogy with this gentleman over in, I forget the name of the college he was in, but he went to college. He ended up hanging himself. So they were saying that he didn't, but it came out that he hung himself. But this little boy, second grade, he didn't hang himself. The other little boy hung himself. The school's trying to cover this up because the school doesn't want this to get out. Now, clearly the parents are suing the school, as they should, and that county, because this shouldn't take place. This should not take place. What I have to say about that is this. The little fourth grader, okay, he learned that from home. He learned that from home. He's seen different things. He's got people in his life that may talk like that may act like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, they may do that kind of activity, you know, that they're, you know, that's Joe familiar with that type of activity, rather. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's not good, because if you're a fourth grader, your kids are supposed to be innocent, right? So why couldn't the little boy that's in fourth grade see the little boy in second grade? Hey, Joey, what's up? Hey, nothing, what's going on, Billy? You know what I mean? It could have been one of them situations that, hey, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? We playing kickball. You want to join us, like, you know, on recess or whatever. How come it wasn't no adults around? You know what I'm saying? See, it needs to be some sort of supervision when these kids go to school. It also should be some supervision when these kids are also going to the bathroom, when they leave the classroom. See, no one came to check in on this little boy, and then obviously they said this little boy came back to go help. How he got loose, I think someone came in the bathroom and they actually freed him up. And then, you know, everything else happened. But the school was basically saying it was horseplay, when the little boy, it wasn't horseplay. Little kids don't play horseplay like that, okay? Main man was trying to get him out of there, okay? You sitting there, you hanging this little boy. And the little boy might have been a little small, frail little kid, you know what I'm saying? You know, he really couldn't defend himself. The little, you know, fourth grader could have been a big kid. You know, some of these fourth graders, some of these kids as big as I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? So he could have been twice his size. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's unfortunate that happened, you know what I'm saying? And he probably said, you better not say nothing, or I'm gonna beat you up. You know what I mean? Little words like that can kind of like get to a little kid and get a kid to shut up and then tuck tail and just won't say nothing, right? So parents, you need to talk to your children, especially at a young age, and explain to them, obviously, the rights and the wrongs of what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And you should also be letting them know that, you know, you have to treat each other with love, care, candor, because there's no reason that this little boy should have been hung in the bathroom like he was a slave. You know what I'm saying? He going to school to get an education just like the other little boy was. You know what I'm saying? Now, I doubt they're going to do criminal charges on the little boy. They're going to just brush it off as nothing, but I'm quite sure the parents is fighting. And this really only happened about like 10 months ago. And it's just funny how I didn't see this video. I didn't see this story come across my my desk, and I'm not sure what was going on in November. But I swore I would have seen this video. I would have did a video on this. We'd have been talking about it, and I didn't see it. I think it's because the school was covering the story up, and they didn't want anyone to know about the happenings in that school. See, it's schools. I looked at a video earlier today, and it was this little black kid's birthday. He was in an all-white school, and they sang happy birthday. Then they asked the lady, then she asked the little boy, "Do you want me to sing sing it happy birthday to you, whatever?" And she said, "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. You look like a monkey, and you live in the zoo," right? Now, given the context of the song, that's the song from Madagascar. But I'm quite sure they were singing it to the monkeys in Madagascar, right? Could have been Rafiki. I'm not sure if Rafiki was in Madagascar. I'm not a big Disney video, movie type. I just know who Rafiki is. Maybe Rafiki is the one in Lion King. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But, they still sung happy birthday to him. But at any rate, this little kid in second grade, you know what I'm saying, shouldn't have been hung. The other black kid that I just mentioned that was in that school, the teacher sang happy birthday to, she should have never sang that song to him because it was not a good song for you to sing to him. Now, all the little kids are going to call him a monkey and that you live in a zoo. Now, you're going to make him feel less than, okay? And now he feels less than, then you want to pick and probe all over this little boy when it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? Kids get bullied and they get, talked about and all kinds of stuff in school, all because a parent may or may not have the finances to be able to do what they need to do. Some kids don't have the money. Some kids go to school looking bummy, looking dirty, don't get a haircut, you know what I'm saying, don't have a proper book bag or whatever, because the parents can't afford all that stuff. They just need them to go to school, and they fighting to make ends meet. So the money they was going to use to buy a book bag, they was using that money to keep the lights on, you know what I'm saying, or put food on the table. So everybody don't have it like that, you know what I'm saying. We can easily sit there and say, you got to do better, you got to do better, you got to do better. And I'm quite sure that people want to do better. It's just things that might have gotten in the way. Now, others that don't want to do better, don't really give a shit about anything that's going on, that's different, you know what I'm saying. But as far as this story is concerned, this little boy being bullied, beaten up by this little fourth grade kid, this should not have happened. And I'm kind of hoping, I hope that these schools start putting adults in these classrooms, okay, that can get around when a kid needs to go to the bathroom. It could be a teacher and a substitute teacher that can help the child out that may not understand, because the teacher can't get to 25, 30 students. So you're gonna need an extra teacher in there, to do what you need to do. Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so, can you walk so-and-so to the bathroom? They stand outside the bathroom, okay? And then they give you a certain amount of time to get in and out of the bathroom. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be no horseplay as you're going to the bathroom. It shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? So a lot of things need to change in these schools. It's a lot of leeway with some of these students, and it's more kids than it is adults in these schools. So they gotta do a lot better. But I can promise you this. Thank God it never happened to my child, and I pray to God it never happens to my child. You know what I'm saying? So, because, we're going after some people, for real. We definitely going after some people, physically and legally, okay? We're going to take care of some things, all right? When we ain't gonna have to never worry about that ever again in life. So, but with that being said, if you like what you've heard, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the like button as well. Bring more awesome, loving, and wonderful people over, similar to yourself. All my normal subscribers, thanks for coming back. All my new subscribers, welcome. Welcome to AG's Point of View. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Smash that like button and push these videos out to people that need to see it, that need to understand what's going on in these schools, these communities, so that way we can get some change, and hopefully things will be a lot better for our children going down into the future. Come visit me on my Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube Shorts, Facebook. I'm all over the internet. Come visit me. Come give me a shout. I'll give you a shout out. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about the story, how you feel about the situation. Were you familiar with the situation? Let's just dig in. Let's have a conversation in the comment section. So I thank you guys. I love you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I gotta get to the scene, I gotta get to the bag now. I can't be chasing on these. They getting, they feeling and dragged down. That's why they just crash out. Stuck in the cell and it's man down. Life getting gone in a flash now. Fitting in, I'ma stand out. I done seen these crash out. They some baby boys, I'm the man now. They was questioning, make them fans now. I'm the best in my league and that's